Welcome to EVE Online. I'm Major Freak. Don't mind the traffic noises. I have the windows open. So, this is the orthus, pretty much the meta. Now, I'm going a bit out on a limb here by thinking about things when I actually haven't brought this thing into combat. So, my main changes were to have a Tech 2 micro warp drive and I think it's Corpum, A type. Now you only have the Corpums. That's the only type you can get. And the C type is 40 million cheaper. And you're like, oh, well, 40 million is a lot. Why are we going with A type? Well, it's not because we have the power to spare or anything. It's because the range. It's 25 kilometers. So I get a 36 kilometer warp disruptor, which is awesome, right? I get a 14 kilometer warp scram, which is awesome. But most things, when they're trying to point to you, are just under 24 kilometers. And that's critical because if you want to newt anything, you want to newt something that's preventing you from leaving the field if you don't feel like taking the combat. So that's why I went with the A type. And the reason I justified the enormous expense of 100 million is because the hull is $500 million. So yeah, I really want that range. And I'm willing to pay for it. They had Tech 2 in here, but I'm like, dude, it's $500 million hull. Could you please? So I put that in. Yeah, that's pretty much the only changes. The only thing these warriors are good for is, of course, against interceptors, and that's about it. They suck otherwise. So yeah, that's my fit. Would I consider going with, because you get bonus to warp disruption, would I want to splurge on the really crazy stuff? I think it's the Federation Navy warp disruptor. Hello, come on. There he is. Okay, so reset all. Yeah, the C and B type, just don't cut it for range. So, alright, these four. Move. Nothing to compare. And they're exactly the same. And kind of want to see the, I guess I'll just see the price here. Alright. So, Trusantia, 160, 145, 145, 144. Alright. 9. Yeah, I actually think I have... I probably don't. I think I have it on my VedMac for some silly reason. I was theorycrafting that one. VedMac. And it had a Caldari Navy. There you go. So, yeah. And I don't think I have a web on this sucker. No, I don't. So, plunk that in. Not using that. Why not? So, remove that sucker. Plunk this in. Hooray. Alright, now we're up to billion. And the range is, ooh, I get 3 more kilometers. Ooh. Alright. Well, whatever, right? Might as well, but I'm not using it at the moment. I would really like a faction scram. I really, really would. And I'm pretty sure I have at least one for the +3 point. That would be golden. Yeah, I got a Dread Griska. Look at that. Cool, it's good enough for me. Now, of course, this is mite expensive now. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, right. That's what she said. Let's see how much iskies this is going to cost. Now, I believe I have most of the fittings, so I won't have to really buy anything but the hull, and I'll probably buy the hull in Amar. 465, maybe. Wait, I have the hull. I'm just doing a refit. I think I've had 2 of them, maybe 3. Yeah. All right. Okay, close to the price. All right. And I have this one, and I have that one, and I think I have a bunch of these. Yep. Have a bunch of these, have a bunch of those. Don't need that. I'll need to buy that. I'll probably have a few of these. Nope. Great. I know I don't have one of those. Scourge Fury. I'm sure I have a ton of these. Yeah. Nanofiber. I better have a few of these. Oh, running low. I think I have 1 or 2 of these. Actually, yeah, I got 2 of them. All right. Don't need that. No. Okay. Bet you got a ton of these. Yeah, enough. Right. And it's only going to cost me 200 million ISK to upgrade this to this. Sure, I need more in the cargo bay, but I think my current orthoses have enough of each, and I'll want to get 2. Oof, right. Yeah, woof. Hers. Here we go. The guy. Ooh. And got enough. Awesome. Perfect. Now I'm going to leave this one here. Kind of slowly stock up those. Lol. Okay. Now then, let's try out one of my Rapture boosters. See how that does. I'm thinking of getting Rapture implants, but I've already bought Nirvana. And if I'm passive shield, I'd really rather Nirvana than Rapture, because then I could fly another Gila, or something with passive tank. That would be fun, and yeah, there are lots more opportunities than simply wanting more cap. It just feels very right. If I can't kill something in 1 minute, then I'm in the wrong fight, right? I've got half a 500 DPS. Well, if you ignore these, yeah, 500 DPS, not too shabby at all. Add 2 of them, that's 1,000 DPS. That's pretty damn nice. And I can be, a great point out at 35 kilometers, right? So it's really nice. And of course I can neutralize anything within range. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean 180 per 12 seconds is quite a bit. That's 15, so minus 15. So unless you're really good with cap stability, I'll be able to newt you. Yeah, that's done. Now, we've got 10,000, and I have Nirvana's here. I believe that I could get easily cap stable with, right? But I have missiles. What if, like, I'm thinking, what kind of missile implant could you get for, like, I'm thinking the 8 slot for engineering, of course, the capacitor manager, you know, the sucker. But is there any 8 slot for missiles that I would really rather want? I don't think so, but I just want to check, right? So we got capacitor management, right? We're not using Stas Weber fire. What's the other one for? Isn't it a... Yeah, it's electronic warfare, but it's for scrambling and Weber fire, right? And this is just the Weber fire. And of course, those are probably $1 billion now. They used to be cheaper. Electronic systems. Web of fire, tangled. Yeah, see the entanglement. And these are probably like disgustingly expensive. What? Oh, that's. I was like, wow, those are really cheap. Whoa, Jesus, could you believe that? It took me a bit to let that number soak in. Yeah, we're just gonna do a massive $500 million for 2%. 2% on 39 kilometers. Yeah, sure, I'll get right on that. Propulsion jamming, I think, is just capacitor. Yeah. Which is typically quite a bit for disruptors, but, right? Not enough to compensate for the boost you get adding capacitor management. So this is in for sure. 100%. You can plug it in from corporate deliveries. And now, we went from 2 minutes to almost 3, and we're at 6.4. We've taken the Rapture, so we're at 3 minutes. That's awesome. And I only have that one implant. I've got Rapture, which is slot 15, and I could take, say, might as well, standard mind flip. Wait, isn't the synth... Wait, give me a sec. Pretty sure the synth is cheaper or more expensive. More expensive, got it. And this one would give a turret optimal range, missile explosion radius, penalty 20% potential, right? We're not doing armor, are we? No, we're just passive shield. Shield boost penalty. That's perfect, so yeah. So standard for sure instead of synth. Because I think synth is just 6%, while standard is... I close the information thing. Lol. No. Bad. There we go. And consume that one, and we go to 3 minutes and 30. I think that's just about perfect. Now, since we're using a mic warp drive, I believe we can get the navigation one. It's 905, I think. It is the high-speed maneuver. Right. Grab that. And now, shield operation will give me 5% more shield boost. Passive shield, 28. Yeah, we're not counting on that. We're just counting on the buffer. We're not counting on. Yeah. So high speed maneuver. Grab that sucker. Plug it in, and we go to 4 minutes. That's more than enough. 10.5. What do we got here? Large. I think it's missile rapid launch. So we definitely want this, the rapid launch for sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's really like I think this is hull upgrades, but it's armor hit points. I know it's dumb, isn't it? Whatever. Right. So plug that in, and we go to 507, and I've disabled the drone damage. And we go to, you know, it's decent. Right, so now we're down to 705. We've got everything else. I prefer evasive, of course. We've got capacitor emission systems. Now remember, that capacitor, we're using a neutralizer. We could help our capacitor. So let's go with capacitor emissions. Now, this would benefit from talisman implants, right? But we're going with Nirvana. And it, you know, I mean, it would be good, but of course it would drain our cap faster, which would be interesting, right? We actually have talisman on standby. Let's jump into the talisman. Oh. Hello, jump into the talisman. Thank you. Okay. There we go. High grade except the Omega, which is mid. Okay, we've got the capacitor management, capacitor emission systems, surgical strike, and large tower damage. So we don't get the DPS, but let's bring up Evo preview. And so I'll definitely want that missile projection. Would that be critical? Maybe, but the range is probably really good on the Furies. Yeah, it's beyond our point range, so don't really care about that at all. It would be getting more cap stability. I would prefer that in all cases. Shield management, we go, but it's like 5% more. It would be nice. We get a bit more buffer, right? What would I want? You know, if I'm going passive and I've got Nirvana, yeah, whoops. So yeah, absolutely. No argument there. I mean, it would be nice to be a bit more cap stable, but bitch, please. All right. Well, there we go. We've got the 1 to 6 already bought. 7, 8, 9, 10, perfect. And we'll plug them in. I'll do one at a time. So this is going to boost our shield. we go. Okay. And of course, yeah, whatever. So yeah, there we go. We've got 4 minutes cap stability. Would we want, because we've got 39 hit points per second, would we, that's pitiful. We don't have enough resistances. This is basically going to be pure buffer and nothing else. So we should not expect to, right? We're going to be something that stays at range, points something, and is able to put damage down on that target. Yeah, basically. It can't target things very fast, but yeah, it's yeah. I'm thinking about what kind of situations now I'd put this in, right? I mean, what possible use could you have for 15,000 hit point buffer, low resists, passive, but 500 plus DPS, able to point at long range and put damage down on the target. Fun little boat. What situations would I put it in? I don't know. Now that I've got the ships and play around with them, I might, but I'm a care bearer. I don't go out hunting, right? It's just not my way. But anyways, there we go. Oh, right. Let's try the talisman. Because this is going to do, what we figure out, 15 drain. I've got the Nirvana in, right? So this will be down here. You're in the talisman. The talisman will basically give me, it will give me now I don't have any of the drugs, right? So those are the talisman implants. And I'm draining 180 every 8.1 seconds. 8.1. Okay. So I'm draining, instead of 15, I'm draining 22. Which isn't bad. Like, divided by 50 is a 50% more drain. So pretty sweet, huh? So can't complain about that, and that would be cool. That's a lot of drain, of course. But yeah, the difference in HP is 10.6 versus 10.6. Whatever. So you're either getting 40% more shield, or you're getting almost 50% more cap drain, right? So you got to think about that. You have 50% extra cap drain, but in what situations is that going to be useful? Versus you've actually always got 40% more shield hit points. And personally, I go with 40% more shield because I don't know. I'd prefer to go with extra shield, just because of what the role is. our role is not to be a pilgrim, right? Oh, or is it? Is it not the pilgrim? Pilgrim or oh hell, what's the other one? I rarely fly them. It's the Sharia 4. The combat recon ship, and I've got this. I've got the meme. Yeah, I got the meme ship. 120, 100 kilometer range neutralizer. Heavy neutralizer. Lol. Yeah. Anyway, so what ship is this? Ah, right, the curse. God, I haven't flown. Sorry, I haven't flown this in years, so I've forgotten. Right, there you go. And that's with the. You saw the stats with the talisman implants. Yeah, pretty sexy. Yeah. But no, I've not flown that into harm's way. I tend not to fly into harm's way. My alliance leaders used to say I'm very capable of flying into harm's way. Is, you know, I see a Care Bear mining. I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? I'm not out to get people all the time. Anyways, so that's it. Hope that I don't know. Was that helpful? I don't know. Just playing around, having fun, showing you the implant stuff. Is it worth it? I don't know. I tend not to think it's worth going for the extra, like the high grades. Right? It's sometimes they're cheap, and sometimes they're just wait. What am I doing kind of stuff, right? You get a bit more, but really, if you need that much more, then you're doing something wrong, because this ship shouldn't be something that it's supposed to, you know, survive. That's not a lot of hit points, you know. You should just get in, kill something, and get out. And it's got the range to be able to get out. So that's it. Anyways, have yourself a good one.